Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to lesson 11.2. So we're just going to go ahead and just continue right where we left off. Just like before, I'm going to go through, I'm going to find my qalqalas and my ikhfas, see if you can find them. Right now, I'm going to go through and I'm going to search. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like I found all of them, so I'm going to go ahead and just continue with it. Here we go. Faragta, faragta. تأتون تأتون يسقون يسقون يفعلون يفعلون يعملون يعملون يعلمون يعلمون يضحكون يضحكون يكسبون يكسبون يدخلون يدخلون ينظرون ينظرون رأي رأي. Here comes that little scene again. So remember, with this little scene, all it means is that we will pause and then we will continue after that little pause. We will not take a breath. That pause will last 1.5 to 2 seconds. Okay. So man raqin, man raqin. You may be wondering why I didn't put an ikhfa on top of that noon sakin, and that's because there's nothing after it. When there's nothing after it, we will not do the ikhfa either. Okay, here we go. Continuing on. أنذرنا أنذرنا أنزلنا أنزلنا خلقنا خلقنا رفعنا رفعنا وضعنا وضعنا نطفة نطفة عبرة عبرة زجرة زجرة تذكرة تذكرة مسفرة مسفرة مؤصدة مؤصدة ما here's that mud again. شاء ما يشاء استطعت. Okay, let's clean that up and move on. Let's go on to the next half. Okay, so really quickly I'm going to go through, label the qalqalas and the ikhfas if there are any. Okay, so there's no ikhfas for the second half of this page. However, there are a couple of things that we do want to watch out for. So once we get to this box and this box, there's a couple things that I will need to discuss. Okay, so I will pause at those boxes and we're just going to talk about those. Here we go. Back to the top. Shahrin, shahrin. Fajrin, fajrin. Qadrin, qadrin. Zakatan, zakatan. Remember, not reading the waw because there's nothing on it. Salatan, salatan. Balighihi, balighihi. Mamnunin, mamnunin. Mahfuzin, mahfuzin. Nisa'an, nisa'an. Tuwan, tuwan. Okay, so here's this one. Masruran, masruran. Okay, so this one right here, we have that little circle at the end of it. That circle is going to show up over some 6,000 times in the Quran with a little number inside of it. That circle actually indicates the end of a verse in the Quran. So you know how in English we have like a little period at the end of a sentence. The Quran goes by verses. That circle will symbolize the end of a verse. That circle also has a special rule attached to it. Whenever you approach the end of a verse, you're going to recite that last letter as if there is an imaginary sukoon on the top of it. Okay, an imaginary sukoon. So you would eliminate whatever signs on top. You have to do this in your head, right? Because in the Quran, it's not going to do that for you. You're going to have to eliminate it from your head, the sign, whatever harakaat, and just replace it with that sukoon. And just to quickly remind you, this is an example of sukoon. This is sukoon, right? That little thing at the top. So the correct way to recite it would be to remove the fathatain from that ra, and it would be masroor. This leads me to yet another rule. I wish there was a better way this was organized. You would add an imaginary sukoon at the end. However, there comes another exception. Whenever you have fathatain at the end of the verse, you will completely drop it. You won't even recite it with sukoon. You will recite it with that alif sound. So look at masruran again. If I remove the fathatain, I will have that alif afterward. Because it's at the end of the verse, I would use that alif and I would stretch out that ra. So the correct way to say it would be masrura. So moving forward, we're going to see that circle a lot. We're going to call it a waqf. In Arabic, waqf means circle. We're going to recite those boxes with the waqf at the end. We're going to recite them twice. We're going to recite it the first time as if there was no waqf there. And then the second time we will recite it with the waqf there. So observe, let's try this again. It would be masruran. I'm going to say waqf. Masrura. Okay, that way we get practice with the waqf that's not there, and we would get practice when the waqf is there. Trust me, there will be more examples coming up. I know that was super confusing, but I will explain it again once we hit the other waqf. For the time being, let's go ahead and let's move on to this next one. Here we go. Ma'an. Ma'an. Abawaban. Abawaban. Speaking of misqalqalas, here's one misqalqala I had right here. There we go. Continue. Majaraha. Majaraha. That little diamond at the bottom, I have not seen it appear in the Quran in any of the scripts that I've read. Story goes that people added a diamond there because some people would recite it incorrectly. There are other ways of reciting, but for now, just ignore that diamond. All it symbolizes is that you just follow the basic rule. Again, we're just going to say majaraha. The alternative way to say it is majareha. That goes into something completely advanced, and I'm just going to skip it. Let's go to the last line. Azwajan. Azwajan. Ashtatan. Ashtatan. It'amun. إطعام أعنابا أعنابا. Okay, let's go to the next page. Here we are. We're just going to go through the first half for now. I'll draw my little borderline right there. I'm going to go through and label my ikhfas and qalqalas. Okay, here we go. So more rules we're going to cover in this page. Bear with me. Let's go through it. Bismillah. Afwajan. Afwajan. Alfafan. Alfafan. Qur'anan. Qur'anan. This one's a little bit hard to see. It's an alif attached to this lam here. I'm going to draw the line on top. Alhamdu. Alhamdu. Ihdina. Ihdina. Wal fathu. Wal fathu. Wal asri. Wal asri. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit tricky to see. Mi nal mu'sirati. Minal mu'sirati. Ma'al usri. Ma'al usri. Okay, so this next one, there's that circle again. There's a little number inside of it, a little symbol on top. All we care about is that circle. So remember, we're going to do it twice. The first time we're going to read it as if it's not there. The second time we will read it as if it is there. And there is one more rule specifically for this case. Again, mal qari'atu, mal qari'atu, waqf. Okay, now before I read it a second time, I want to draw your attention to the last letter right there. The last letter before that waqf shows up. That is that ta, right? If you remember way back, we called it ta marboota. If you have this form of ta at the end of a verse, at the end of the ayah, as we say, right before that waqf, if that ta marboota is the last letter, when you recite it with that sukoon, remember that rule, we have to pretend that there's a sukoon on it now. You will actually pronounce it as ha. We say that one more time. If you have ta marboota at the end of a verse, you will put a sukoon on it, just like always, just as I said before. But instead of pronouncing it as a t sound, you will pronounce it as a ha sound. Okay, so let's try going through this again. So again, I'm going to do it twice. The first time I'll read it without the waqf. The second time I will read it with a waqf. But that last ta I will pronounce with a ha sound. Okay, so pay attention. Mal qari'atu, waqf. Mal qari'ah. You catch that? I made a ha sound again. Mal qari'ah. I did not say mal qari'at. That would be incorrect. So far I've showed you the two exceptions before I actually got to show you the general rule. Remember, if there's tayn, you would turn it into an ah, the last sound would be ah, and then if you see a ta marboota, the last sound would be a h sound. Let's move on. Hopefully you're not too confused. Again, we still have a lot of this book to go. There will be plenty more examples for you to see, inshallah. Also, moving forward, you'll notice that the boxes and the words are getting longer and longer. Of course, if I'm going too fast, please pause, try and figure it out for yourself, see why it is that way, and then, continue the video. Here we go. Wa, I, dhal. Okay, that dhal connects to the lam. Those two alifs there's no fatha, kasra, dhamma, fathatain, kasratain, dhammatain. Skip all of it. I'm just going to jump from this dhal all the way to lam. Okay. Mo, u, da, tu. Here we go. وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ. Okay, here we go. يَنظُرُ الْمَرْءُ يَنظُرُ الْمَرْءُ كَالْفَرَاشِ الْمَبْثُوثِ. Now, before you put it all together, it's okay to do it in chunks. Let's do it one chunk. Kalfarashil. Okay, so that first bit, kalfarashil mabathuthi. Okay, and then we'll put it all together. Kalfarashil mabathuthi. Okay, moving on. Kal'ihnil manfushi. Let's break it into two parts. Kal'ihnil manfushi. Now let's put it all together. Kal'ihnil manfushi. Oh, before you even read this one, I forgot another qalqala. Here's this. Dal should have qalqala on it. So again, there's that waqf there. First time we're going to recite it without any changes. The second time when we do say it, we will remove the kasra and we will replace it with an imaginary sukoon. Okay, so here we go. Lay, la, tul, qadri. Waqaf. Laylatul Qadr. Okay, I removed the kasra and I replaced it with an imaginary little sukoon. Okay, Laylatul Qadr. Okay, almost done here, guys. Let's move on. Gonna quickly go through, label my ikhfas and qalqalas. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and read everything under this green line. Here we go. Akhrajatil ardu. I know that's really hard to see. Let's go through it. أخرجت الأرض. Okay, moving on. من أهل الكتاب. من أهل الكتاب. Okay, here we go. عند ذل. Okay, so ya and alif. That alif has that little skipping sign. Ya, there's nothing on it. Skip it. عرشي. عند ذي العرش. يمنعون الماعون. يمنعون الماعون. They're getting much longer, as you can see. وهو الغفور الودود. وهو الغفور الودود. ذو العرش المجيد. waqf. Now, when I recited it for the second time, remember we have to put a sukoon on top of dal. Now, if you're remembering carefully, now that I'm putting an imaginary sukoon on top of dal, what needs to go there? You guessed qalqala, you are absolutely correct. Well, now when we read it for the second time, we have to make sure that even though we're getting rid of the dhamma, we're going to replace it with the imaginary sukoon, which means now we actually have to do a qalqala on top of it. I'm going to do it slowly one more time, and then we'll put it all together the second time. ذُو الْعَرْشِ الْمَجِيدُ. وقف. ذُو الْعَرْشِ الْمَجِيدُ. Okay, see, I got rid of the dhamma and I put a sukoon there, and because now that there's a sukoon on top of dal, we have to give it the qalqala sound. Here we go. This next one's one full line. We'll do this one in parts. Here we go. La qad خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم. Now when we recite it for the second time, we're going to use the waqf there. So now we're going to have that imaginary sukoon on top of mim. Let's go through this. I'm going to break this down into 3 parts, and then we're going to put it all together afterward. Okay, so here we go. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم. Remember, there's that sukoon sound. Pretend that there's an imaginary sukoon. Word of clarification, remember you only do that if there's 2 fathas. If you have the fathatain, not kasratain or dhammatain, only with the fathatain on the top, then you turn it into an sound. Let's put this whole thing together. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم. If it's confusing or hard or you are unable to keep up, that is perfectly fine. All it means is that you need to go and practice this page multiple times until you get the hang of it before you move on. Let's go ahead and finish up this page. أعطيناك الكوثر. أعطيناك الكوثر. So this one's interesting because you have a mud and then it connects to a lam. So we're going to stretch it and then connect it to that lam. Al-ana. Al-ana. That was a tough page. I hope that this did help you out. Remember, from here, it's just going to continue to get more and more complex. Be sure that you have ample practice because in the next lesson, we're going to be introducing more rules. Be patient with yourself. Take your time. Better to learn it right than to rush through it and learn it wrong. Once you do feel comfortable with this, go ahead and move on to the next lesson. Please rewind, rewatch, do whatever it takes for you to get better. That's going to do it for this one. As always, please, please, please keep me in your du'as, inshallah ta'ala. And I will see you all in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.